Hey everyone, this is WobblyWallaby. Today I'll be discussing equipment's memory in Ragnarok Mobile. This is a new mechanic which is the reward for completing the Ghost Palace instances each week. I'll cover what this new mechanic is and what I'll be investing in as a physical damage DPS. I'm also focusing on PvE, and I'll be using damage tests to back this up. Next, you need to do 5 instances of Palace of Ghosts each week. You complete it once and then raid out the other 4, then you have a chance to obtain some of the items here. The legendary one does drop randomly, which is the one you want to get, but if you're desperate then the blue treasured one is okay. I wouldn't recommend you put anything on the green fragmentary one. Also, this is super random. I was able to get this on my alt, but I wasn't able to get this on my main. If you have no luck like I do, then each week you can choose to buy the weekly memory supply for a guaranteed legendary one, which I did get. Next, why would I not recommend investing in the green one? Well, the green one only gives 1 word, so it's definitely not worth it. The blue treasured one gives 2 words, which is worth it if you're in a rush to get something. For legendary you get 3 words, and I would patiently wait for this. So what do you do with all these trash green and blue ones? Well, you can also do memory dismantling if you need more memory afterglow. Dismantling the green one can give you 1 memory afterglow, dismantling the blue one can give you 5 memory afterglows, and the legendary one can give you 1 memory afterglow and 1 memory crystal core. The crystal cores are required for rerolls. I personally dismantled all my green ones and just left 2 blue ones behind. I only decided to keep the other 2 because I only had 1 legendary one. Next, for the words, the first word pool is attack. There's also good ones, but I personally chose ignore death plus 2% since I lack ignore death on some of my classes due to the bad morale enchants. If you have enough, then I think the physical attack plus 2% is great for physical classes, and the variable and fixed cast time minus 2% is also great if you're a spellcaster. Next, for the second line, you're forced to take it from the def word pool. Personally, I think the mdef plus 2% is the best since it allows me to do mdef switch, which adds more offensive power for Ronin and Ruin Master. But if you're not using those classes, then wind, earth, water, and fire damage minus 2% is nice. Finally, the special word pool is just for the third word, but it is random. You can get attack and def ones too, and then you're forced to reroll for it, so there is some painful RNG. The 2 that I had my eye on was the one that says when the opponent physical defense is completely ignored, then final damage increases by 3%. For the stacking, that basically means that if you chose this for 3 of your memory equipments, which is the 2 accessories and weapon, then you can get final damage by 6% in addition. That's pretty busted. And then the other one of interest was the damage to large monsters plus 4%. Again, if you have all 3 of your memory equipments, you can get damage to large monsters plus 8% in addition. So where does the painful RNG come in? Well, to reroll the first word it costs 1 to choose one of your choice, which is not bad. For the second word it costs 5 to choose one of your choice, which isn't bad either. But the real problem is the third word, which costs 100 to choose one of your choice. For the third word pool, it includes stuff from both the special word pool as well as the first and second one, so due to randomness it's possible for the third word pool to actually have the attack one or the defense one, which you do not want, so you must pay to reroll one, although you could be lucky if you get it the first time. At least for the reroll, you're guaranteed to choose the one you want. It's not random at that point, but it will cost you a bunch of core memory. Next, how do you access this UI? Well, I access this by going to my bag and then going to the far right. You can select a memory and click load memory. You can choose between 2 accessory slots and a weapon. This lets you swap out memories in case you get a better one. For example, I put my memory on my weapon, and then even if I swap my weapon to something else, that memory still stays, so it isn't tied to a particular weapon, and it's instead tied to a weapon slot, which is much more convenient. The same goes for accessories as well. Next is the damage test. Since this is a very expensive investment, I wanted to make sure I chose the one that would give me the most damage. So in this damage test I'm choosing between the final damage one or the damage to large monsters. I will be using the Legend Museum Dragon as my dummy. I show a 207.5% ignore defense, so I will activate the final damage requirements. Also in PvE this is easy to attain since we know what we need to target, but in PvP this is much harder to predict as your target can have a ton of defense. I'll first equip my memory to my accessory. It is the damage to large monsters. Hit for 2.19 million. Next I swap my memory. I now have the final damage one. I now hit for 2.2 million damage, which is slightly higher. So personally, this is a clear winner to me. This also helps against targets that aren't large, so it is much more flexible. It can be used for summons in PvE, as well as White Star Airship, and it can also be used for PvP players. So for me, the final damage one is the one I'll be investing in for all 3 of my equipment memory. How about you? Which equipment memory will you be investing in? Let me know in the comments section. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. If you want to learn how to get stronger, check out this playlist over here.